She's a filmmaker, writer, producer, director, actress, artist.
There we go.
Ogechi Musa is joining me. This is super fun. I mean, we've known each other for a few years, but we've never done anything like this.
Right.
How did you get your start? What does that look like for you?
In the book of Genesis.
From
Genesis.
the beginning, exactly.
I started filmmaking, I guess, in college, but I've always written, so I feel like that was the start, like just having that creative output, you know, just being able to channel your thoughts and ideas onto paper and it coming to life. So I feel like that's the true beginning, like when you start your first art. And my first art was writing, Nice. But I always loved acting. So naturally when it came together, I feel like that's when filmmaking happened, like writing and acting. But starting off, they were separate entities.
So it was kind of your childhood, I guess, ripped open that side of you, that creative side.
Yeah, it ripped open, but I didn't know, I guess the ripple effects came later, you know, the actual...
Like what that actually looked like.
Yeah, it took some time to kind of develop like waves, I guess, but it just came to shore at some point. So that's
super cool.
Yeah, but I think really it was high school. Like when I was told that I can write extremely well by a professor. I don't know why it took someone else to say that was really good for me to believe it. Unfortunately, that was the case, but you kind of always need...
Yeah, you need positive reinforcement for sure. But what was that project that got you started in high school? What was that?
Well, in high school, it was more so, I think I was just taking a creative writing class with this teacher I have in mind. I think the actual project that's like my filmmaking debut is probably my feature film, which is Friction. And that is really when I did everything. So it was the true like combination of art, you know, it was all the entities into one.
How did you finally say to yourself, okay, I'm ready to take the leap and fully get myself into this?
I think I was already on the descend of the leap. I guess when Friction fully, or not even descend, I think it might even be the ascension. Yeah, just to explain that there was a year in college where I left school. And during that year, that's when all these opportunities came about. So it was like letting go of everything that you know and that you are comfortable with.
Kind of like a rebirth almost. Yeah,
like the ascension. We all need to have that Phoenix moment. So it's like we all need to kind of, not even rising from the ashes, because you don't need to burn it down.
You don't.
Yeah, it could just be rising.
Creating your own story and finding your own path. It doesn't always have to be destruction.
Right.
But I guess destruction is kind of inspiring for people who have had this one path so far, and now they want to open up to this part of themselves that they haven't explored maybe.
Yeah.
And it's going against everything that they've been for so long. So destruction and creation are two important themes for any creative, I guess.
Yeah, because you can't just destruct without like replacing it. So that's, I think it's definitely like yin and yang, like it's one wouldn't be without the other. Yeah, no, I just love talking about this because I feel like so many people are still on like a certain path. And that's how people kind of, I don't want to say that you get controlled in that way, but you fall into just being on someone else's path as well, someone else's plan. You know, when you don't have your own plan, you don't have your own path. So whose are you on?
Right.
And that's the majority of everyone. So I feel like it's up to creatives to really embrace that quality, to crave, you know, to pave your own path. Because not everyone does that. Not everyone is capable of doing that for themselves.
It's scary. But it's funny that we're having this conversation because I do think that it's almost like where we're going towards. While we see so much happening within the economy of jobs being replaced, human thought and creativity is so complex that it can't be
everywhere. So it can't be replicated. It can't be
exactly. So
that's
it's really
a great
cool.
Point. Yeah, I never really saw that in what we do, what creativeness truly is. It's so
I'm trying to figure out how to recession proof, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I'm always like, how can I make myself necessary to this organization or, you know, be seen as invaluable?
Yeah.
So,
and it's hard. That's why we're
very
starving.
hard.
It's like, that's not a joke. Starving artists, that's a thing. Even though they have that quality that can't be replicated. They have that quality that's so authentic and rare. Like how artists are treated, how the marginalized are treated, how anyone other than the standard quo is treated.
How artists have been treated at the beginning of their career, and they weren't given any sort of attention or merit. They didn't make any money until after they're dead, and their paintings are worth millions. It can be a very weird space to be. This idea that you have to make commodifying yourself, I guess. This idea that your filmmaking has to make you money now. How do you just create to create?
Okay. Yeah, that's a great question. Because a lot of what I've made was just to create, to a degree.
That's awesome.
And then it's a product that is marketable and profitable, and you can just make money from it. You know, like I feel like it has a lot of stock in what people want to see. So it's so hard balancing artistry and business, because that's like
every single conversation I have with a creative is pretty much that. Yeah.
It's just like, it's too heavy to juggle. So it's just like one or the other in certain moments, you know? Right. I don't know, I see scales in my head, I see juggling balls. That's what's going on in my head. And it's just so difficult to separate. But I don't ever separate. It's always in tangent with each other. And that adds to both of what I'm doing. When I'm making, I'm trying to write so that I have a large audience. I'm like, I'm going to add a kid. I'm going to do all the colors of the rainbow, mainly black. And I'll do it.
Is extremely important.
It's extremely important and key to empathy, key to everything that anyone is ever doing in life to make it better for anyone.
Yeah. And I guess that idea of just not seeing other people because you feel like you're so removed from a situation, or we're so different, I can't relate. Like you almost just don't see that person, if that makes sense. You don't include them in your story. Right. You don't include them even in the periphery of your story.
Yeah, no.
You're still limited when you see it that way. So what is your philosophy in your filmmaking? Like, what approach do you take to representation in your film and all of that good stuff?
Yeah, that's a great question, because I feel like every artist should be asked that question. So I'm the writer. You have to increase representation above and below the line. You'll hear any woke industry person say that, or, you know, consciously aware of what they need to do in their job. Right. How I increase representation in my artwork, it's by telling the stories of the marginalized. It truly is. And I just want to be able to write your story, or be able to write anyone's story who's worth it, which is everyone. Like, if everyone's worth a story to be told, there's so many people should be providing this platform for those who don't have that platform. What I can bring to this world is what I'm doing right now, like filmmaking, making money, supporting family, you know, in third world countries, trying to make something that will impact someone else. So that's providing the platform for the stories. Yeah. And it's really, I mean, I try to focus friction, you know, majority black cast, like as lead roles, that's 3. And then there was David, who he played Marco, and he was Latinx, and it was just everyone in the cast who you're seeing, all the stories you're seeing, the languages you're hearing. There was 5 different languages in Friction, and I didn't have subtitles for all of them. You know, it wasn't for everyone, but it was for that one person who is tired of seeing one face, one narrative, one anything. Right. Doesn't connect with them. So in that way, it also ties into the business aspect of how I create as well. Yeah. So increasing representation is also increasing marketable value. Yes. It truly is.
Knowing that there is like this system that exists wherein you don't see black film getting a lot of marketing money. Yeah. Even though a good work is a good work. It doesn't matter who it's by. It doesn't matter who the story revolves around, but you don't always get these budgets and you don't get these situations like Black Panther. That's why it was so legendary to actually be seen and have the response. So how do you, I guess, navigate the business side where you're fighting to get those dollars, those marketing dollars? Like, what has been your experience on that end?
Yeah. I guess it's been difficult because I've put a lot of, well, not a lot of my money, but I put my resources.
Certainly a lot of time.
Yeah, time and resources and money, you know, and how you get the money. You can fundraise, you can kickstart, you can find your executive producers, you can use your own money, you know, you have to build capital.
Liquidate.
I'm not doing it the conventional way. I'm not. I'm very unconventional, and I'm trying to learn all the different ways so that I can find my perfect balance, of course. But right now, the way I've done it is using my resources, using what I know I can do, what I know other people can do and provide, and just having the common goal with anyone, then you can work with them, you know? Right. So it's finding how to raise the money, work with the right people, and bring all the resources. So that's how I've done it.
Being a creative, like I was saying, is so multifaceted. There are, I think, niches within niches.
Right.
So break it down for me. Like, what does that look like within the filmmaking world? As a small independent filmmaker, how do you go about getting your distribution deals and that kind of stuff that helps you to get your name and your work out there?
So, festivals. You just have to have the product, you have to have the actual content that people want to see and people want to hear, and you have to have the passion too, because everything I do is fueled by my passion. It's all about just knowing the end goal and wanting it so bad that you'll just do it. You'll do what you have to do. So I submitted to festivals. At festivals, I just made the connections. I networked, talked to people, had dinners with people. I just worked for it.
Just grinded.
Yeah, I grinded and then networked and just try to have someone listen to what I wanted to do. And
a lot of networking, a lot of keeping your eyes and ears open. And
being open.
And this has been so much fun having you, listening to you, learning more about my friend of how many years? Like 5, 6 years? 5. How can the people reach you online, especially if they want to see Friction?
Yep, I'm on Instagram. You can do Getch at me, GECHATME, you know, Getch at me. That works. Facebook too, just Google or Facebook Ogechi Musa, Friction. I have pages, all of that.
Lots of different ways. So
thank you.
Hopefully you like this video, subscribe so that you can see more. And yeah, links below. And check it out, guys.
Check it out.
Let's support each other.
Support.
You know,
it's a dope story. 2019.
Jump on that train. Support train.
There you go. Bye.
It's been fun.
It's been real. It hasn't been fake. It's just been real. You can't say that all the time.